Right, I'm going to try and explain this again. So, going way back when I very first started, so this is aimed at newbies, yeah? When I first started, which was in 1983, so yeah, a couple of years ago, the guy that owned the gym, Mike Baker's where I used to train, he used to have these little workout cards. So they're pre-printed workouts on a card, and he'd write the name of the new member on the top, and everyone that came in the door, pretty much, had the same workout. And when you very first started, because you are new, you had a very basic workout. And probably the reason I'm doing this, because I'm noticing a lot of newbies, like, you know, because I'm still training in a commercial gym, pump gym, and you tend to get that sort of clientele a lot of the time in there. Not that I'm not bitching or I'm not moaning, I'm just saying that's how it is. It's a cheap gym, so you're going to get people that are not into it that much go there. But you can all, just because you're not into it that much, if you've got a rough idea on what you're doing, you're going to see progression. And if you see progression, you kind of think, oh, actually, I'm looking all right. This gym lark is going all right. I might even stick at it. So it's within the gym's benefit also to retain the members, as well as the members to get a better physique. Now, on these cards, again, basic exercises for the first, I can't remember what it was. It was probably 6 weeks, maybe 8 weeks. So for the first 6 or 8 weeks, you followed the card. Mike could take you around the first couple of sessions, and then you're on your own. Unless you need help, then you go and ask for it. So basically, you've done the same full body workout 2-3 times a week. So me, I've done it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it consisted of one exercise per body part, and that was it. So you had squats for legs. Okay, I might chuck in some calf raises for obviously calves. So squats, you had bench press for chest, barbell shoulder press to the front for shoulders, bicep curls with a bar, I think it was, for biceps, lying skull crushers for triceps. Then you would have had a bent over row, I think that was with a bar actually as well, bent over barbell rows for back. Have I covered everything? Yeah, pretty much. So that was it. So you knew you were going to go in there, you do your warm-up sets, and then without realising how I was training, you think to yourself, right, I'm going to start off with a small weight, and I'm going to put a little bit more on, a little bit more, a little bit more, and on my last set I'm going to go heavy once you start getting into it. Now, I found that over the first couple of months, I put on shitloads of size for me. I mean, I'm only a Joe average. I'm not genetically blessed in any way, but because I was trying, and the consistency in the eating as well, which I'll get onto in a sec, I put on a considerable amount of size and strength, and I retained a sort of low body fat, but I was a lanky skinny kid anyway. So anyway, I was only 18 at the time, you know, I was 18 at the time. So you basically have to stick to the basics, as I keep going on about. Again, I'm seeing people who obviously haven't got a clue what they're doing, and it looks like they're having some sort of fucking seizure on the cable crossovers, and they don't seem to do any free weights. They just do seizures on the fucking cables. I mean, there's 5 cable that they're bought. Yeah, they're bought. Is there 5? Yeah, I think there's 5. There's a big wide one, cable crossovers at the gym, and then there's 4 like narrow ones as well. So there's 5. And I train in the morning when it's not that busy, and more often than not, the 5 cable crossovers are fucking all being used at the same time. And when I look at it, there might be one person that knows what they're doing, and the rest are just having seizures. So, you know, you look at these people and you're like, fucking hell, I wish someone would actually tell them, or I might show them like the YouTube app on the phone, because it ain't hard to sort of get a grasp on what's what. But once you've got the basics right in the first 8 weeks, then you can move on to what we done. Like Mike Baker had 4 different cards. So once you finish card number 1 for 8 weeks, you go and see him. Oh, I've been here 8 weeks. Any chance I can move up to the next one? And then he'd do he'd put a few more exercises in or whatever it was. Can't remember exactly. It was kind of similar to card number 1, but add in a couple more. So you might do a barbell curl, and then you might do like a single arm dumbbell concentration curl, and you might do bench press and you might do flies. You know what I mean? So you might do like 2 exercises per body part instead of 1. And then card number 3 is when they started doing like split routines. So that's when you split your body up. So you do like chest and triceps one day, legs, back and biceps, and then sort of like shoulders or whatever, yeah? So you'd split it up into different body parts and you train like that. So what I'm saying is, you've got to start with the basics. You start with the basics, you'll build a good foundation for size and strength, basically. So that comes onto the diet as well. It's no good training really hard and eating fuck all, because you ain't gonna gain any muscle by not eating. So what do you need to eat? Well, you need to have, as I said before, the protein side of it's easy to work out, because you need on average, I mean, people can argue the toss on this, but this is just a generalisation, average, play around with these figures, but you want roughly 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you need 200 grams of protein per day. That's every day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. So how do you split it up? Well, you want to split it up. So ideally, you're consuming some protein-rich foods around about every 3 hours. So if you have your breakfast at 7, you have some at 10, and then your dinner at 1, and so on and so forth, yeah? So that's the protein, 1 gram per 1 pound of body weight. So the bigger you get, so all of a sudden you're 200 pounds, and then the next thing, I'm 240 pounds a year later, so ideally you should have up your protein to 240 grams from 200, yeah? So you start eating a little bit more. So what about the carbohydrates? I mean, carbohydrates, bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes, those type of starchy foods, if you want to call it that. What I would say, it's a job to say, how much carbs should I eat? Well, if you're quite fat, then you should probably eat less carbs than what you're currently eating before you start going to the gym, yeah? If you're skinny, then you probably want to try and eat a little bit more carbs than what you're eating before you started joining the gym, yeah? If that makes any sense. So try and base it on, sort of like base your carbohydrate intake on those food groups that I just mentioned. And again, don't overeat in one sitting, because if you stuff 10 ton of pasta down, yeah, you know, pasta and chicken and veg or whatever, then don't forget 3 hours later you've got to eat again. So if you eat too much, especially if you're older, when you haven't got an appetite like me, 3 hours later, then you think, fucking hell, I'm still stuffed, I ain't got no appetite at all. So you want small regular meals, better for your digestion and better for getting the nutrient uptake and sort of like gaining muscle purposes as well, yeah? So keep things basic is what I'm saying. So if you don't know what a bench press is and a squat and the basic exercises, go have a word with one of the PTs in your gym, or if you're down the gym and you see me down there, I don't mind showing you. I ain't going to charge you if I'm in there. I'll just, oh, can you show us what a squat is? Yeah, no worries. Show us what a bench press is? Yeah, no worries. I'll do that. Don't ask me every fucking 5 minutes, but I'll do it. It's not a problem. Or YouTube it. I still YouTube after 35 fucking years. I'll go on loads of different YouTube channels, fitness ones, and I'll look up things. I'll just think, oh, there's a bodybuilder I've never heard of or whatever. He's doing a chest workout. Let's watch that for 10 minutes. And then, you know, there might be little bits of variation. Let me throw the ball for the dog. There might be variations on there where you think, well, that looks quite good. I've done that in 1992. Kind of forgot about it. I might try that again. So it kind of gives you little ideas, but it also gets you on the right track if you look up how do you squat on YouTube, how do you bench press, how do you do a barbell curl, etc. Keep things strict as well. None of this fucking swinging shit all the while. So anyway, I think I've got my point across. So that's it. Get all three dogs are here. Over there. So we've done our little cardio session as usual. Take the dogs back, have some food, some protein, and then I better go out and do some work. Anyway, see you later.